What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be discussing my T levels, my blood work that I just got in. I got a comprehensive blood work, what I'm going to be doing to naturally boost my testosterone levels as a 45-year-old man, and we can also discuss some other unnatural ways that one might boost their testosterone levels. If you're new to the channel, my name is Nakapan Pungpan. I'm on a mission to become the first Triple Crown champion. That's right, a champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Kudo in the over 45 division. And I'm documenting my experience, my journey to share what I've learned with the world so we can chase greatness together. So let's take a look at that blood work. I had 13 tubes of blood taking. You know that I work with a company, the Rebel Health Alliance, and they're helping top athletes, older top athletes like myself, stay in the best shape of their lives. Now, what I have is I have a PCP, like a doctor that I talk to. I have a physical therapist. I have a strength conditioning coach. I have a genetics doctor. All these people that are talking together and looking at my labs, looking at all my information. And so the first thing we got to do is we got to take these 13 tubes of blood. I hate getting blood taken. I just got to tell you that. I have very small veins, and anytime somebody starts popping needles into them, it takes like 2 or 3 times for them to get there. I hate the experience. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get better at this experience because we're going to be taking my blood pretty regularly every 3 to 6 months to see any improvements, see any deficiencies, any problems. Now, I did go over my results with the doctor, and they gave me some pretty eye-opening information. I'll share with you a couple of things in here before we get into the testosterone levels, okay? One thing, though, I just finished competing in Paris, France, in the Judo Veterans World Championships. And I got to say, once I got up to the quarterfinals, everybody was on gear. Everybody was juicing. You could tell this by the strength. You could tell by the back knee. You could tell by a lot of things that were going on. Of course, in grappling, this is, I wouldn't say it's an issue. It is an issue in the sense that some people are willing to do it and some people aren't. But also in the last competition I had at the Dallas Open, I went against in the finals somebody who definitely was on some PEDs, but no taking away his skill level. Very skilled, but strength does help quite a bit, and it's not being tested for in the masters and the veterans division. That's for sure. And so therefore this is the sport, and if you're willing to do it, then I guess you can get some advantages. Now for me, this is a whole nother issue. I want to stay as natural as possible, and I want to put off TRT. Now we'll get into that towards the end. I want to know what you guys think about it. As you know, here on this channel, I am a guinea pig. I'm trying to get the most optimized as I possibly can for my age, and I'm willing to do a lot. I don't know if I'm willing to do that right now, but we can talk about that later on. So let's look at my blood work right here. It's a comprehensive 13 or 10 pages right here. One thing that does stand out, as you know, I did get my blood work done before I got my colonoscopy. Everything's good with my colonoscopy, no cancer, cancer free. But I did find that I had elevated cholesterol levels, that LDL levels at 237. Here, it's a little bit lower. We can look at the lipid panel just to kind of see. This is usually an issue that I see in a little bit older people, right? We all have higher cholesterol. Let me just kind of see if I can find. Here we go. Here's my lipid profile. LDL a little bit high, a little elevated, right? They like to see it. Moderate range is 935 to 1860. A very wide range, so they'd like to see it below 935, and I am at 1340. So it's in the yellow right there in the moderate. Now, if you look at everything else, well, as I've been explained, I have all of the positive cholesterol in the sense that all the protective heart cholesterol that I have, it's very low. And uh, overall, my health profile is, they would say, top 5% of people. I've done everything to really get myself into that, into those ranges. Now, a little bit of context where I came from, and I've shared this in other channels. I've given up 5 major vices, one being caffeine. Sorry, one, yes, I do give caffeine, one being marijuana, and two being nicotine. I gave those up about 8 years ago. Best decision I ever made in my life. I got more concentration, more focus. I feel I have more energy. Most recently, I gave up sugar and caffeine. Caffeine for about 9 months, sugar for about 3 months, and my energy levels are very stable. My sleep is great. My inflammation is low. I'm saving money, of course, not buying coffee. So many different advantages for all these different things. And so that's been a lot that I've done on that side. Now, I've also, as you know, taken up semen retention. In this blood work, it's about 60 days that I've been retaining on this streak. I don't believe in streaks. I've taken this as a lifestyle. I want to make sure I get every edge possible. And I know that retaining my seed gives me some great uh, focus. I feel like I can heal faster. I feel like I have more energy. I feel like I can work out many times during the day. I have higher fight IQ. It feels great. Anyway, don't be so concerned about the streak, but this is where I'm at. 60 days, no has spill in my seed. And so that gives you some context as to what this blood work is. I wish I had some older blood work, and I'll see if I can go dig it up. 5 years ago, I had my life insurance screening done, and I passed that with flying colors. I had my child was born 5 years ago. I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave them in the lurch in case something bad happened to me. So hopefully I can try to dig that up and we can see some trends. But we'll be seeing some trends over the next 6 to 12 months as I begin to do more of the blood work. So let's go right to it. The testosterone level. So you can see here my testosterone level 538, and that is a range of 250 to 1100 nanograms per deciliter. That's how they measure testosterone. What did my doctor say? He said that's literally, he said that's good. It's not great, it's good. Something to note though that this range is for 18 to 35-year-olds. So there is no benchmark for us as older athletes. You just know if it's below 250, that's going to be low T. I have average testosterone, 538 right now for my age. Some would say um, but as I understand it, as a society, as men, we're all suffering from low testosterone. Apparently, I don't suffer from that, but that may be because of my lifestyle habits. That may be because I've been basically working out since I was 14 years old, 13 years, sorry, I would say 11 years old, doing martial arts. Hopefully, that has maintained some of my testosterone levels. Now, a couple things that did stand out here as you can look at it, as you kind of look down at these numbers, is my free testosterone is actually lower than the uh, the recommended range. Let me see if I can find where we can see this on like a trend scale. If I have it, I doubt that it's here. I thought that we had it, but all right, let's go back. We'll go back. See, very comprehensive. Okay, so 42.7, that is lower than the lower end, which is 46. My free testosterone low, my testosterone bioavailable very is lower end at 110 is where the lowest end is to 575. I'm at 91.6, so that's low. Sex hormone binding globulin 60, which is outside of the normal range of 10 to 50 or outside of the recommended range. Okay, um, so let's talk about that. I talked to my doctor and I wanted to know why that was. And he was saying that because I have lower body fat, we'll confirm that with DEXA scan, also part of this program that I'm in, and because I fast, that tells my body now is not a good time to reproduce. So therefore, I'm not producing these hormones that would allow me to convert and use up my testosterone as efficiently as possible. So although I am within the healthy range of testosterone, I am in the lower range for free testosterone, bioavailable testosterone, and the sex hormone binding globulin. So there goes now what I'm going to do to naturally increase my testosterone. One other thing, just one more thing that does stand out, my lipoprotein A is 189, and that is much higher than the recommended range of 125 as being gained on the high side. And as it was explained to me, this is nothing that is lifestyle related. This is a genetic issue. This is the hand that I was dealt. But looking at all my other numbers and my lipid protein profile, he would say that I am in the well-protected range, and that's nothing to really worry about, but it is something to monitor. So we're going to be looking over that in the next 3, 6, 12 months and see how that number is changing. Now, we're going to move to what are the 5 supplements that I've been recommended, a healthy stack that is legal that I will share with you right now. Okay, this is where I'm going to need a little bit of your help here, all right? So I'm taking a bunch of supplements. The 2 things that I take on the regular, and I haven't been super regular, so now it's really trying to get that out in, is beetroot powder and beta alanine. That's supposed to delay onset of fatigue, muscular fatigue, and also dilate blood vessels and make sure that it's supposed to help with endurance. So those are 2 things that I take, and I will be taking even more regularly. Now here's 5 supplements that I've been recommended to deal with those issues that I have. Now, these are just the supplements that I'm taking, and I've been recommended by a doctor because it's supposed to help me with my issues. Right here, one, DHEA sulfate. This is illegal in Canada, but you can buy this here at Amazon and in United States. And as far as I can tell, this is something that you can take to help increase testosterone production. Also, Tongkat Ali, taking this, as well as vitamin D and boron. So my understanding is that these are supposed to help me improve my hormones, my IGF-1, help me boost my testosterone, and that way all these different, and the sex-binding globulin, all these things working together will help me increase my testosterone. We'll see what that looks like in about, I guess, 60 days after doing this on the regular and seeing what else is going to happen. Now, I also take 5 milligrams of creatine. I know my wife's been talking about it. Everybody tells me to do it all the time. I'm very concerned about doing it only because there's some water retention, and I'm always trying to make weight for these fights. But right now, I don't have anything scheduled until about 2.5 months from now. So it's going to be a good time to supplement it with some creatine. I'll let you know what happens with my body, but I'm understanding that it's supposed to help me with some explosive strength and help me with making some gains there. So there you go. I have 5 supplements right now, including the 2 I'm already taking. I'll be doing this for the next 60 days. Of course, I'm going to share my experiences with the world and let you know where I'm at. Please comment below. Leave me some ideas about what you think about these supplements and how you think they're going to interact with my blood work. Again, I'm an open book. I'll share that with you. Now, I have been recommended some non-natural things. You could still argue that they're natural, not TRT. I'm on the fence about that. You know that I've said that I'm the natural athlete. I'm trying to stay natural as much as I can. But the more things that I read about and more things that I see, these things are supposed to extend your life, not necessarily curtail your life. It's supposed to give you a higher quality of life. And I've done pretty much everything that I can do outside of that. So let me know what you think. Do you think this is something that somebody should start taking? I'm 45 years old. I'm thinking I'm trying to push that down the road as long as I can and hopefully never have to take it. But from what I hear, a lot of people do think that it's been a game changer for them. It's changed their life. I know it's changed their mood, it's changed their motivation. So I can't argue with that. I don't know personally from firsthand experience with that. I just know that once you get on it, you can't get off it. And that's really what concerns me, is I don't want to be dependent on any substance that I can't produce myself, right? Even though you could just say that I can't actually live in society because I can't make my own food. So there's that as well. We're all dependent on the system. But really, not outside of just overall athletic performance, I want to enjoy my life. I want to make sure I have a good, long, healthy life. And so therefore, if there's more information about how that going on TRT might help you do that, I would love to hear it. But I know a lot of people, once they get on it, some of them are trying to get off and it crashes your system. And so that's really a big concern for me. And I know that a lot of people do take it, particularly in the masters divisions, in the veterans divisions, in judo, masters divisions, in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Everybody's on something, nobody's testing. And so therefore, it's not really against the rules. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's cheating to take these types of things, these performance enhancing drugs, or because they don't test and they are actually, quote unquote, part of the game? You think that, we should be able to take them? I really would like to hear more about it because, I'm on the fence on all this, and I'm, consider me a guinea pig as I'm sharing all of my different experiences with the world. And I'd love to hear a lot more about, what you think. If you love what we're talking about on the channel, please leave a like on this video. Also, subscribe to this video. We're going to be sharing more things. I'll be sharing my blood work. In the future, we have a couple more really important things coming up with the sponsorship agreement with the Rebel Health Alliance. And I'm happy that we're on this journey together. I'll see you in the next one.